What's up, NFL fans? Welcome to Robert Sports Show. In week one of the NFL 2016-2017 season gets kicked off this Thursday with Super Bowl 50 rematch, the Carolina Panthers versus the Denver Broncos. That Denver defense, they signed Von Miller in the offseason. Why it took so long, I'll never know. Peyton Manning retired. We got Trevor Siemian starting. Paxton Lynch, in the weeds waiting. We have Cam Newton returning for another great big season for the Carolina Panthers. He's got his favorite weapon, Calvin Benjamin, back, coming off ACL surgery last year. Can Denver repeat with a different quarterback? If you look at the quarterback play of the Broncos last year, Brock Osweiler, who now signed with Houston, he was viable, I guess. He didn't set the world on fire. Peyton Manning wasn't the Hall of Fame Peyton Manning we all have grown to love. If Trevor Siemian just hang on to the ball, not turn the ball over, I think he can be serviceable. You got C.J. Anderson running the ball. You got that defense led by Von Miller. Open up on Thursday against Panthers. Is it going to be a repeat of Super Bowl 50? Or can Cam somehow beat the Denver Broncos defense? Well, the current line on this game is Carolina by 3 with an over-under of 42. I'm starting off the season hot here. I'm going against that. I'm taking Denver to win. I think that defense will do it again. I think that defense will score at least one touchdown, have maybe a pick, a couple sacks. Of course, I'm a little biased as to the fantasy draft over the weekend with the Pro Wrestling Pulse family and BJJ Productions. Yeah, and I took Denver's defense, so I'm a little biased on Denver's defense this year. So I got them for the first 11 weeks till their bye week. So I'm taking Denver. I give them the 3 points. They'll cover that. I'm taking under on the 42. So we're starting off with the rematch of Super Bowl 50 with a repeat victory by the Denver Broncos. First game on Sunday, we have an NFC South matchup. We have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta's favored by 3 with an over-under of 47.5. I got Falcons winning, covering the 3 points, and under on the 47.5. If you're new to Robert Sports Show and my prognostication videos, basically I do every game for the NFL season. I do straight-up pick who's going to win the game. I do against the spread, and then I do the over-under. And then each week I try to update results from the previous week. So third game, we have Buffalo Bills versus the Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore favored by 3. With an over-under of 44.5. I got Baltimore covering the 3. I don't really completely believe in Tyrod Taylor yet for Buffalo. I think Joe Flacco and the Ravens can get the victory at home here. I got them covering the 3 points and taking under on the 44.5. Next, we have the Chicago Bears and Jay Cutler. What Jay Cutler are we going to get? Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde here versus Houston Texans and that defense led by J.J. Watt, Brock Osweiler, DeAndre Hopkins. Houston's got some offensive weapons there. Houston's favored by 6. I got them winning. I got them covering the 6 and taking over on the 44. Next, we have the Green Bay Packers versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jacksonville is a very interesting team this year, I think. If you take a look at my playoff predictions, I actually have them making one of the AFC wildcard teams. I think Blaine Bortles will come into his own this year. I think Allen Hurns and Allen Robinson, those two wideouts, kind of the double-headed Allen monster they have. I think they can do something. Unfortunately, Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers, Jordy Nelson, Randall Cobb, Eddie Lacy, and they got so many weapons on offense. I think Rodgers is going to have a bounce-back season this year, so the Packers. So I got the Packers winning, covering the 4.5, and over on the 48. Next, we have an AFC West matchup with the San Diego Chargers versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Will the Chiefs be as good as predicted this year? I haven't been picked to win the AFC West. Chargers, they got Phillip Rivers, but that's really all they have. They got Melvin Gordon as a running back. Is he elite running back status yet? Their defense, But Chiefs, they have a top defense. Alex Smith hangs on to the ball. They do now have Nick Foles as backup quarterback. So if something happens to Alex Smith, they do have a viable backup. I actually have Kansas City winning this. They're favored by 7 with 44 and with the over/under of 44.5. I had them covering the 7 and under on the 44.5. Next, we have the Oakland Raiders versus New Orleans Saints. The Saints are favored by 1. It's pretty much a wash. An over/under of 51. I'm actually taking the Raiders. I'll give them the 1 point, obviously. They'll cover that. They'll at least win by 1. That's a surefire guaranteed cover right there. 1. And thinking under on the 51. I believe in the Raiders this year. Very young nucleus. Cooper, wide receiver. They got Davis Murray's his name, running back, who I maxed out my fantasy team. Derek Carr, who I really wanted on my fantasy team, and my backup quarterback, which I can still pick up. It's only an 8-person league, so I can still get him for. I got Andrew Luck, so Luck's bye week. I can probably go pick up Carr. But the problem is they have the same bye week, so it's kind of like, damn, I can't do this unless Luck gets hurt. Then I can pick up Carr if no one else picks him up. Of course, everybody in our league will probably watch this video and hear me talking up Derek Carr and be like, hey, that's a good viable option. They'll go pick up Derek Carr before I can get to him. But hey, I got Andrew Luck. If Luck has a Peyton-esque season like he can in Indy, I'm not worried. So I got Raiders winning, covering 1, under on the 51. Next we have the Cincinnati Bengals versus the New York Jets. Bengals favored by 2.5. I believe in Andy Dalton over Ryan Fitzpatrick. I don't know if Brandon Marshall and Eric Decker will have Pro Bowl caliber seasons. I know Fitzpatrick had a good year last year. The last couple of years, I think he's had pretty decent years. But Jets defense, Jets have been a mess for years. Bengals, Dalton's good. He just can't get over that hump. He won a playoff. Was it last year he won a playoff game or the year before, I think? And so I think they can again make the playoffs. So I believe I picked them to make the playoffs. So I have Cincinnati winning, covering at 2.5, and over under 41.5. Next, we have the Cleveland Browns versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Both franchises are a mess. Cleveland got a lot of eggs in the basket of RG3. Can he do it? Can he bring them over the top? They got Duke Johnson, Josh Gordon suspended for at least 4 weeks. What are the Cleveland Browns going to be? Hell, what's the Philadelphia Eagles going to be? Is Chase Daniels a starter, or is Carson Wentz going to start? They released or traded Sam Bradford to Minnesota. I picked Philadelphia to win. I think Cleveland will cover the 3.5. Taking over in the 41 because I just don't think defenses are going to do shit in this game. Next, we have the Minnesota Vikings versus the Tennessee Titans. Minnesota favored by 2. I do like Sam Bradford as a quarterback. I think coming off 2 ACLs, 3 years ago and 2 years ago for St. Louis. Going to Philadelphia last year. I believe he got hurt again last year. Just recently got traded to Minnesota, so I don't know if he probably won't start this. Sean Hill will probably start. Bridgewater out, but they have Adrian Peterson. Gio, I know your Vikings. I know, man. Sorry. Marcus Mariota and the Tennessee Titans, I think will win. Minnesota is actually favored by 2. I'm giving the 2 points to Tennessee. I got Tennessee winning by 2. Pick it under on 41. Hopefully Minnesota has a good year, but I'm picking Tennessee here. Sorry, Gio. I know you're a big Vikings fan. Go AP. I'm over all that stuff about the whole thing with the child abuse and everything, and I had a little rant on, and a few people commented on a couple years ago. Yeah, I'm kind of over that. My opinion doesn't matter anymore. I think he should have been cut, but hey, we'll go there. He's a Pro Bowl running back, future Hall of Famer. Next, we have the Miami Dolphins versus the Seattle Seahawks. I think Seattle's going to be good this year. Miami, I'm just shocked at the line of this game. Seattle by 10.5 at home. I know Miami's not great, but damn. I know Seattle's got that 12 million and all, but I got Seattle winning. I got Miami covering at 10.5. I don't think it's going to be that big of a blowout. I don't think it's going to be double digits. Taking over under 44. Next, we have the New York Football Giants versus the Dallas Cowboys, a big NFC East matchup here. Dallas favored by 3.5. As we all know, there's no Tony Romo. We have, what's his name? Dak Prescott or something like that. I don't know. Phew. Oh, I actually wrote down Giants winning. I think I think Eli will have a bounce back here this year. Yeah, I'm taking the Giants to win. I'll give them the 3.5. They'll cover that. And I'm taking under on the 49. I don't think Dallas has enough offensive weapons. I know Ezekiel Elliott's supposed to be the next big thing. I know the offensive line has been good. DeMarco Murray had almost 1,500 yards, 1,800 yards a couple of years ago. I just don't know about this Dak Prescott guy. So I got Giants winning. I got they'll cover the 3.5 and under on the 49. Next we have the Detroit Lions versus the Indianapolis Colts. Colts favored by 4 at home. I got Colts winning, covering the 4, under on the 50.5 points. Next we have the New England Patriots on the road versus the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals favored by 6 at home. Joey Garofalo, is that his name? Something like that. Yeah, no Tom Brady for 4 weeks. But we got Rob Gronkowski. As long as Garofalo can get the ball in Gronk's hands, I'll be a happy camper on Sundays. Oh, Gronk's on my fantasy team. He was my second pick. So, just making sure Garofalo knows how to find Gronk, and I'm happy. I got Arizona winning this. I have New England covering the 6, taking over on the 48. I think it'll be a good game. Arizona picked to win in the NFC West this year. Monday night, we have 2 games on Monday night. We have the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Washington Redskins, and the LA Rams versus the San Francisco 49ers. First game, the Steelers and the Redskins. Steelers are favored by 3. We'll see what Kirk Cousins does in year 2. I don't think he's going to do the same as he did last year. I think it's going to be a sophomore slump for him. Pittsburgh wins, cover the 3, under on the 50. And the return of football after 20 years to the LA market, the Los Angeles Rams returning home versus the San Francisco 49ers. This game will be in San Fran, but this kind of the St. Louis Rams moving back to LA. They're returning home. Okay, then we got that out of the way. Big NFC West matchup. I don't know, living in the St. Louis market, casual Rams fan. There was never a huge Rams fan. I mean, I shit on the Rams in videos before. I've shit on them in fantasy. I'd always take players going against them. So 7-9, 6-9, 6-10 is all they've been here the last few years since the greatest show on turf back in the early 2000s. Is Jared Goff future number 1 franchise quarterback? Only time will tell. Going number 1 in the NFL draft doesn't mean you're going to be a Hall of Famer. Doesn't mean you're going to Super Bowl. Doesn't mean you're going to playoffs. Doesn't mean jack crap. Do we got to go back to Jamarcus Russell? Yeah. So, yeah, there's been quarterbacks that have came in number 1 that's went on to win Super Bowls. Peyton Manning, guys like that. You fleece the Philadelphia Eagles when they wanted the number 2 pick a couple of years ago to draft, or Washington when they wanted to draft RC3. You fleeced them. You took draft pick after draft pick from them. The biggest trade, one of the biggest trades in NFL history, next to the Herschel Walker, Minnesota Dallas trade. You gave up as much as you got that day for this pick. Why? You could have got Jared Goff down a little bit. Yes, he's a USC guy. Yes, he's University of Southern California. He's in California. Yeah, you can build a franchise, possibly build a franchise around him. Yes, Stan Kroenke wants to make millions of dollars in LA. But the problem is the product on the field has to be good. Yes, you're building this $2 billion stadium, the most expensive football stadium in the history of football in a couple of years in LA, in Inglewood. You fleece St. Louis by taking the Rams out of St. Louis. You lie to people. You cheat. You do what you have to do to get what you want. Here you are. Can Jared Goff be the future? Only time will tell. A 6th-round quarterback, 7th-round quarterback, whatever Tom Brady was. Anybody know who the hell Tom Brady was when Drew Brees got hurt, or when Drew Bledsoe got hurt? No. First play, Kansas City Chiefs versus New England Patriots a few years ago. First play, Brady goes down with knee injury. Matt Castle, who? Playoffs. Kurt Warner, who knew who he was when he came out? Russell Wilson, 3rd round pick. No one believed in him. Super Bowl champion. You never know. Time will tell. But in this game, I have the Rams winning. I got them covering the 2.5. They're favored by. I'm picking under 44. Hopefully Robert Quinn's really the only thing left on that defense. Hopefully they can stop the 49ers, who ain't got much. I know they get Carlos Hyde, who actually I drafted, but I went in and got rid of him because he's had concussion issues. He's questionable, and picked up Thomas Rawls, Seattle running back. So we'll see what my fantasy team does this year. We'll see what I do in picks. If you haven't already checked out Robert Sports Show, make sure you do. NCAA, prognostication videos, NCAA rankings each week, starting this week. Pro wrestling previews, reviews, topics. NASCAR preview coming for the Chase. Baseball playoffs preview. Got a preview coming up for the season preview for NBA, NHL, all that, all in one Robert Sports Show. Not last year, there was 5 sports show channels. This year, 1. So we'll get out of here. We'll wrap up this NFL Week 1 preview. As always, thanks for Robert Sports Show, and don't just have a great night, have an American night.